Hey Sheila, how you doing today?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing alright. How was your weekend?
It's good, how's yours?
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was beautiful, so you can't ever complain like that.
Oh.
Alright, so I brought you in today to talk about your comprehensive assessment. We're at that 6-month mark since your last performance report, so we're just going to go over this. Just give you a rundown of what we're going to do. This thing just gives us a way for me to rate you where I think you stand and what you can do to improve upon, so that way we can try to get you the best performance rating on your next EPR, okay? Awesome, so jumping right into it, I had you fill out the self-assessment section before you came down today to talk about this, and you said that you did understand all these responsibilities. I just want to verify that that is true and you do understand all these responsibilities.
I do.
Okay, great. So hitting on it real quick, we talked about your performance areas, and I rated you where I think you stand, and you're doing absolutely incredible in all these sections. So I just want you to keep doing what you're doing out there. Keep that initiative, keep that, you're heading those TOs trying to learn your job, and you're going to do absolutely incredible out there, okay? Now with your follower leadership, it's the same sort of thing. You could take a little bit more initiative to lead. You're doing great as a worker, but I want to see you evolve more as a leader. I know you're still a little young in your career, but I want you to try to progress as fast as possible and take on those roles, because it's going to help you out later down the road, okay? Mm-hmm. All right, jump in then the whole airman concept. You're doing great here too, taking those younger guys under your belt. I see you in there talking to them, especially the new people in the unit. So I really appreciate you doing that for them too. It makes them a lot more comfortable, because we want them to be comfortable in here too, just like when you came in. So you're doing great there too. So I marked you more towards the right side of that scale also. Do you have any questions about these first couple sections about what I went over here?
So the right side is higher, the left side is...
Yeah, the right side is where you want to be, and the left side is where you don't want to be. So you're doing absolutely great in all three of those categories. You're right towards the right side, okay?
Cool.
Awesome. So this is the section that we're going to get to talk more one-on-one and then get to know you a little bit better. First thing that we're going to talk about are some of your goals for self-improvement. And just remember, they need to be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. It's an acronym we use, SMART. So what are your goals for self-improvement?
I'd say, kind of like what you hit on before with the leadership aspect. I would really like to, I'm always out there, but you made a good point, like, I should be taking some of the guys underneath my belt, especially the new ones, and showing them what's up. And I know I ask like a ton of questions, so maybe getting into the books more instead of just going right to a supervisor and asking them. I think those are some good self-improvement that I could do.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'd love to see you take that leadership out there. Some of the things, you pretty much hit on it, getting in those TOs. Don't be afraid to ask questions. I'd rather you be asking what you think is too many questions rather than not enough, because that's when we start to have issues. And I'd rather find the problem before it is a problem. That way we can fix it. We can get you and go in the right direction.
Right.
Okay. So the next part here is we're going to talk about what your personal goals are.
I'd say, still kind of going on the leadership theme, I've been thinking lately about potentially applying to some ROTC scholarships or maybe even going to OTS, but definitely getting to college.
Okay.
Start studying. I've always been interested in sports science or nutrition, sports medicine, maybe becoming a personal trainer, getting my CrossFit Level 1 certification. So I know it's different from what we do every day, but I'm always interested in health and wellness. So
yeah, that's great. Have you been to the education center yet to talk to them about the college?
No.
Okay.
Do we have one?
We do, yeah. It's in the base library. We can go down there after we're done here, and we can kind of get you on the right path of what you need to do to get your college going, get your tuition assistance and stuff like that. As far as your personal trainer, your CrossFit thing, I think that's awesome. I'm, as you know, a big health nut myself. So I was an apprentice with the CrossFit gym, absolutely loved it too. So I think it's a really good idea there too. I have a couple people that I know in the industry too, and I can try to get you in contact with them if that's something that you're serious about doing also.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to help you out there. So the last part that we're going to talk about here is, it says, do you have stressors in your life? And if so, what are you doing to reduce them? I know you have stressors. Everybody has them. So go ahead. Hit me with them.
All right. This is outside of work stressors or?
Both.
Okay. Well, for starters, for outside, my landlord is giving me a lot of headache, put it that way.
Okay.
I have a dog. Love my dog to death, but she doesn't like the dog so much, and my neighbors have complained, and I'm just fed up with her, and I think she's fed up with me. And it's either I leave the apartment or I get rid of the dog, and my lease isn't up, so I don't want to get kicked out of my apartment, and have that on my record or whatever it is. But I don't want to live here. But I'm not getting my dog. I don't know what to do.
Okay. I mean, that's definitely a huge stressor. One of the things that we can do is we can go and talk to your landlord, and I can come with you too, just to kind of, give you some backup if you need. But as far as that, I think the best idea is to talk to her, and if there's a way that, since there's a disagreement with what's going on right now with your dog situation and everything else, I know your lease isn't up, but maybe if it's affecting her apartment, she'll be willing to work with you to let your lease end sooner without a huge penalty, so that way she can save her apartment. We can try to get you happier and get you in a better situation, okay?
Okay.
So, and if not, we can always go talk to somebody else, and I'll be glad to point you in the right direction for whatever we have to do for that.
Yeah, we can.
All right. So, just to recap what we went over today, we went over this comprehensive assessment, going from the self-assessment, what you answered. We talked about your performance and where I think you stand in the unit so far, your followership, leadership, and we talked about this whole airman concept. And I told you you're right towards the right side of the scale, which is good. I want you to keep going in that direction. Okay, and then we just talked about some of your stressors. Let's go talk to education office, and we'll get this squared away with your landlord as soon as possible also. Okay?
Yeah.
Awesome, Tiffany. Really
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks.